And this is my 1/3 scale DC / Berserk area. It's mostly 1/3 scale DC stuff. But then I kind of threw the Berserk at the end there since they're very large statues as well. And this space worked out well for it. So as you can see, I have a number of the Prime 1 DC lineup, but I do have some more coming in. I think there's probably at least one of these that I will be getting rid of before some others come in. So let's get into this. To kick things off, Prime 1 Deadman. I've done a review on this guy before, but let's just quickly look at him again because he is pretty glorious. He's just something so different from any of the other statues that are out there, especially in a 1/3 scale. He really pops in a collection. And I just really like him. And I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. Next we have the giant Swamp Thing and another really beautiful piece. The second in the Justice League Dark collection that I have. Base is awesome. Lots of interesting stuff here. The vines and all this sort of swamp stuff in the back really create a nice frame for him. And I have him, he's got a lot of different swap outs, but I have him with this little canary or whatever this bird is in his hand. Just because I think that he's beastly enough. I think it's nice to show a little bit of his soft side as well. So, Swamp Thing. Now here we have Prime 1 Zod. And he looks nice. He looks really nice in isolation. I think he's a great looking statue. The golds and red really pop off his like kind of armor, you know, the grays and of his armor and then the black cape. But the problem with him is he's a little bit underscaled, I think, especially his head. If you compare his head here, look at that size to the size of Deathstroke's head or even Joker. It's just too small, and especially when you compare it to Superman here, which should be similar. His portrait's underscaled and it just doesn't, it makes him look less imposing. So that's unfortunate because otherwise he's a really nice statue. He's got the Superman statue crushed under his feet, symbolic obviously. Nice portrait, just a little bit too small. This is the EX portrait. Let me just quickly show these guys' portraits as well. Great detail. And Deadman with his decaying flesh. Very cool. And just a close-up of his tendons and muscles, or at least his outfit that kind of mimics a flayed man. Very, very cool. Okay, now one of my absolute favorite statues still is Prime 1 Deathstroke comic version, and this is the EX with the EX mask or portrait, and holy shit, does that ever look good. He's still one that every time I look at him, I get that feeling, you know what I mean? Just like he never disappoints. The orange with the gray really looks unique and pops. And in my old apartment, I didn't have a high enough ceiling to be able to put him up with his AR. He had to have the other sword, but I love this look with him with his AR with the katana down low. I love this statue. He's very deep, so he had to kind of go on an angle in the corner here. But I mean, even the base, look at this. Wow. This is by far one of my favorite statues. Okay, so then we move on to a statue that I believe won some awards last year, and justifiably so. It's the Bermejo Joker from Prime 1. Not sure what needs to be said here that hasn't already been said about this statue. I mean, it's to me, it's the perfect statue representation of Joker. I know that a lot of people appreciate different iterations of Joker, but this just looks like Joker to me. Maniacal, a little bit dirty, greasy hair. Awesome. Now this flag here, this gun with the the bang flag, is actually from the Hush Batman. It fits on his base in the back, but you can't see it back there. And I figured it'd be kind of fun to just throw it up here on the Joker, almost like it tells a story. Like he pretended to shoot somebody and then the bang flag came out and then he actually did, because he really looks like he just shot somebody here. So that's fun. Next we have Catwoman. Now this is from the Arkham line. So it doesn't really go with a lot of these others. It's here with some of the Prime, sorry, not the Prime, the Hush statues. But to me, this is the best version of Catwoman so far that has come out in 1/3. I've seen a lot of the others. I just think that this one is the best. She does have a couple swap out portraits, but I like this face the best. There's a smirking one too, but I think this one just looks a little bit cuter and softer. She's got her ruby here. Nice detail in the outfit, good curves. I like her pose. It looks sexy, but it also looks like she knows how to take care of business. She's got her whip here. She can, there's a swap out where she can actually have like a whip that's moldable that hangs down. But I like her holding the jewel. Base is nice, and I have Poison Ivy's EX piece. This little cat with the ivy. Now usually there's a little there's a suitcase hanging here, but it's really just big and brown, and it kind of pulls your eye away from the more important stuff, which is the statues here. So I do have it. I think it's just, yeah, it's just sitting down here, kind of out of the way. It's from the Hush storyline, if you're wondering. And as you can see, I've got some posters in the background. Harley, I've got the Superman, the Jim Lee Superman, Jim Lee Batman back there. And now I've got another beautiful female piece. Hush Poison Ivy. I've reviewed her as well, but let's just take a quick look at her in all her glory. She's got her awesome man-eating plants around her. Really huge base, but again, really frames her nicely. You know, it's kind of funny because a lot of these, up until recently, I had them displayed a little bit differently in here. I just sort of had two. Let me just step back for a second. I just basically had two tiers. I had a lower tier all the way along, and then I had and then see this height. I had that height all the way along in the back, and there was two tiers of characters. And I just found it to be. I was almost thinking about selling this whole line because it was annoying me. I didn't like how they were lit. I didn't like how they looked. It was too much going on, and you couldn't really appreciate each character. So now that I've got them set up with some variants in terms of height and groups differently, I appreciate the collection all over again. So I'm glad that I did that. I literally just did that a couple nights ago. So here, of course, is Hush Superman. It's, in my opinion, still one of the best statues ever created. Wow, what a perfect representation of the might of Superman. He doesn't really have that sort of gentle, soft look that he often is associated with, and I do like that Superman as well. Of course, there's something about a character who has all the power in the world. Basically, he's a god, but he chooses to live like a humble, and caring person. But I do like this. He just looks like he means business here, and I love that because you don't always see Superman in that sort of, in that way. You do a little bit more now. I know comic books and movies and everything are trying to show his tougher side now, but I still think this is a really unique and beautiful way to sort of represent Superman, the power of Superman. So now we move on to Hush Huntress, another beautiful statue with a beautiful portrait. They really nailed the sort of comic book look, the Jim Lee comic book look of these in these Hush pieces. Huntress, again, has a number of different swap outs. She has her bow staff that she can have. She can have two pistols, I believe. So there's a smaller crossbow that she can have, but I kind of like this look. The crossbow is iconic for her. And she's got sort of like a gentle lean up against this wall. It's unique. You don't see a lot of statues that have this. I can't think of any other statues that have the person sort of leaning up against a wall. Her hair blowing in the wind is really nice. Prime 1 do skin so well. Cool base. Something I didn't notice until I watched another YouTuber, that this is actually has a bit of a purple tinge. Can't really see it here, but it matches her purple. I always opt for the sculpted cape when I can. You see, I got her in sculpted cape. I got Soups in sculpted cape. I'm not a big mixed media fan. I try and avoid it where I can. In some statues it does work, but you know, in my opinion, not usually. Here's Red Hood from one of the Arkham games. I think this is a really cool looking statue and a real cool version of Red Hood. It has a couple swap outs when it comes to his actual mask, but I think this was the most interesting one, and it kind of pops because of the glossiness of it. I just really like this representation of Red Hood, and I like Red Hood as a character a lot, of course. It's got an interesting story. I hope the Christmas music in the background isn't too loud. It's kind of fun though, keeps things festive. This is actually my my avatar, my image for my PlayStation account is this Red Hood. Okay, so now we move up to the Batmans. This was actually almost a mistake. I didn't even know if I was going to keep Azrael in the back there, but it works well. So I just kind of I stuck him back there, but it works well having the three Batmans all sort of you know, up here together, and I don't think they compete. I think that they complement each other. So we of course have the black suit Hush Batman. The musculature in this statue is just so nice. And you know, I know at the time people were mixed on his pose because it looks like he's kind of down low, but I mean, I really think you need to have him up high like this, and then the crouch is so appropriate for him, just kind of ready for action. This is very Batman to me. And then the giant cape, really dramatic and effective. Very Jim Lee portrait. Love it. And I do have the little piece that they released after the fact to keep the cape from falling. Although I didn't have any problems with the cape even before. And then we have Batman Beyond, which is kind of fun. The young Batman beside, I mean, this isn't really an older version of Bruce Wayne, but it's kind of fun having them side by side with all the multiverse stuff going on. It makes sense. I don't think that it doesn't make sense to have them together. This is actually just a suit from one of the Arkham games, but it's like the Batman Beyond suit, of course, the EX with the red Batarang. But he is standing in as my Batman Beyond. And then we have from one of the Arkham games, Azrael. Now I know Azrael, when he was Batman, had obviously a different suit, and there is a Prime 1. There's a Prime 1, you know, like Batman version of Azrael with the yellow and the blue, and I think that's cool. But I really love how this Azrael looks. He has that that knight, that Templar knight look that I think really kind of complements the collection. I think it's very cool. I think if I had the Nightfall Batman back there version of Azrael, it might pull your attention away from this Batman a little bit too much. So anyways, there you have it. That is the DC lineup that I have. I got rid of all my 1/4 scale DC, and I'm only going 1/3. I have the Wonder Woman coming from Prime 1, the version that is the Art Germ style, because I just love Art Germ. He's actually one of my favorite artists. Actually, just while we're speaking about him, I've got some art prints framed, hard to see. We've got Huntress here. Sorry guys, the glare is making it difficult to see. But anyways, got a Huntress art print, Poison Ivy, and then we have, oh, little sneak preview of another room there. And then we have Wonder Woman here. Again, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I was able to move this piece out in front and actually set up spotlights properly so it's all lit properly. And I love how it looks. All right, on to the next room, guys. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for coming along on my collection tour. Really appreciate it. It means a lot to me to be able to share my collection with other people, so I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. There'll be lots more coming. And until next time, guys, later.